Because I said, look, I'm a rubbish 5. I'm never going to keep up with you guys. And he was like, can you stay awake? Yeah, no, yeah, I can. He's like, you're already an improvement. So, I don't know.
Jack is literally the narcoleptic of Dota 2. Multiple times over the course of like a half hour, he fell asleep during our game. And this was an intense 70-minute game where we got goaded by the enemy team. In 35 minutes, they're winning with the Dusa strategy, so they probably have better late game than us, and they goaded us with a welcome to China. And Jack over there, talk about a double goddamn agent, is falling asleep on duty.
I know how CTY feels, a real test of loyalty.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I think we've drawn some power now, so that's good. How have they coped, Jack? Because they've won a couple of games. It's not like they've been terrible or they've played badly, is it?
Yeah, it's you mean you're talking about Newbee, right?
Secret.
Oh, Secret.
Yeah, with CT1 team.
I mean, I don't know. I think this is still like a pretty clear drop off from the form that we've come to accept from them. It's just, I don't know. And they haven't, like, we expected them to really simplify things for CTY and just put him on these, like, very independent heroes and just kind of leave him there. But not really. Like, they've given him some heroes that require more protection or coordination. We've seen Sniper. We saw him have a really good game. I think his best game was on TA. Like they've
no, based on score, his best game was OD.
Oh, hey, he didn't die in that game.
The least impactful play I've ever seen in my life.
Saban's tweet was fun, by the way, after that. Go and check it out. I'm not going to repeat it on air, but it was fun, and it was poignant, and it was right.
He called CTY garbage for not fighting. That's what he did.
And he was right. He said, if you end the game on 0 kills and you've lost the match, then you shouldn't feel good about that.
No, 0 deaths.
0 deaths, sorry.
Yeah. Otherwise, that's just a shot fired to every fight position in the history of Dota.
Yes, 0 deaths is what I meant. Right, let's get into the draft. Final game of the night. Or is it? Because, as we said, there is a situation that if this ends 1-1, we will have 2 extra playoff games, 1 for first place and 1 for last, to see who goes through top 8. And we've got a Beastmaster and a Wyvern for Newbee to kick things off against a Tusk for Secret, who favoured that quite often.
It's the punch block.
Yeah.
You know? You see the Tusk in his MMA moves, and you see him knee down a little bit and position himself to get the uppercut going, and the cold embrace.
Right. I think it's the buff strength game, but it could be that as well.
I've seen a lot of Walrus punches in the UFC,
Yeah.
For sure.
Just imagine if you had a healer in the ring there.
Conor McGregor has got a healer.
If he just like a cold embrace and all of a sudden you punch an icicle, like you've just broken your fist, you've broken the enemy's fist, and you've just saved your carry. GG. Speaking of guy who packs a wallop, though.
Yeah.
Tiny.
Yep, Stickman is in the game.
Tiny no cares. Disables. He ignores stuns, apparently. This is what Ice Frog has created, this sort of weird monstrosity. This little man.
He is a poster child. He is a poster child for the beef and the age of status resistance.
The beef. I heard that panel segment, Jack.
He cleaves down these animals. He cleaves down these animals. I always like watching Secret. Secret has usually the most. They seem like the most distant from what the quote-unquote meta is. Like, we saw them first pick Lion earlier. Like, they really have a lot of their own ideas, and they kind of just run with it. So it's always a lot of fun to watch them draft.
So, a couple interactions here. So, the physical damage coming out from the Tusk, as well as the Tiny, can be countered by the Cold Embrace. But the bigger thing about the Tiny here is that he doesn't really care about Primal Roar. The Disable offered there is not going to be nearly as effective due to his status resistance. He's still going to be, or rather, his allies are going to be susceptible to the Winner's Curse being placed down, Tiny doing so much physical damage potentially to them. I do like Newbee's opening a bit more because I do feel it offers a bit more versatility. The Beastmaster really is one of the best offlaners right now because he does offer you so many different combinations. He gives you a nice single target disable. He gives you split pushing power. He gives you a lot of vision gain, which is really important for some teams for like a 3 or 4 position that gives you some sort of vision advantage. And that's pretty important when you've got a hero that basically executes like an assassin and just moves around the map and blows supports up and stuff.
Yeah, he also just enables all of your, I mean, we saw Newbee run this earlier, he also just enables all of your hero, I almost said creatures, heroes that just destroy buildings, objective disappear very quickly, almost like against the Lycan if you lose a fight against him. He enables heroes that normally wouldn't be very good at Roshan to be able to like really sneak it or pick up the pace with doing that. So like just a very objective-oriented hero in a lot of ways. But I do like that Tiny can throw his trees at the animals.
That was all really great analysis, Jack. And then you just wanted to throw in, but you can throw your stick at animals. Yeah, that boar's going to be feeling it. All right,
and
Jack.
And the boar standing behind him.
The hawk flying high in the sky is going to be brought down by Tiny's stick.
It's been a long couple of days.
We're only just now getting started with Perfect World. I was going to say Venge would be a great pickup for Newbee. That actually gets banned away. Team Secret banning away some of the better mid-game physical damage heroes that would take advantage of Beastmaster's aura.
Visor is banned, but Visor is still viable.
10 seconds remaining.
You mean, so Razor is banned, but Viper's still out there? Is that what you're saying? All right. Sorry, I had to wrap my head around that one. Yeah, it's not bad, honestly, because Tiny is very focused on burst damage. Typically, what you do want to do against Tiny is that you want to play a lineup that feels comfortable playing around each other a lot. That way you're not giving that Tiny that 15 to 25 minute marker where he starts running away with the game by getting a kill after kill after kill. This is how Tiny kind of turns into a hard carry right now, is that he goes around farming heroes and then he starts becoming more of that late game threat. They still need a 4 position to be able to match the Tusk. I would not mind, say, Earth Spirit.
There is still a Slardar in the pool. Again, well, I mentioned this last series as well, but increasingly popular as a 4. You have, Tiny does get armor out of his grow now, but it's still pretty good synergy with the rest of their lineup as well. And gives them a playmaker. And that's maybe if the only thing that Wyvern is a bit short on, being able to usually initiate or at least run around freely without committing an ult to make things happen.
Good call. There's our Slardar. So we are going to go pretty heavily into the physical damage strategy, it would seem, from Newbee. One of the better things as well about the Winter Wyvern, why I like this hero so much, is that as a support, it gives you a lot of split pushing power. It pushes out waves really well. And that's important, especially if, again, we're going to be talking about a lineup that plays around each other to prevent the Tiny from getting free pickoffs. You're usually susceptible to your lanes being split pushed. So you got to get some heroes that give good wave clear. And having a 5 position that does that for you just feels really good. The Team Secret Witch Doctor, though, a classic and a good matchup versus the Beastmaster. Not only is the Maledict going to be powerful against tankier heroes, but now you've got the cast that will bounce around between the Beastmaster and his various animals.
So Newbee I always say this, but they have a very draft philosophy for being steady and solid. It's kind of, nothing too flashy, nothing requiring too much pinpoint coordination. Their game plan seems pretty simple at this point. So you have obviously the support that shoves out waves. You have a lot of wave clear and a lot of vision provided from the Beastmaster, and with that vision, they're going to take advantage of it by finding tempo on this Lifestealer with the Slardar and just getting pickoffs. And also, this is also like a pretty good option against a hero like Tiny as well. So just makes a lot of sense. And I think they go for this kind of a finisher. The Queen of Pain is banned out, but
so the Abba comes on board for Secret, and we saw it in effect yesterday in the office.
That's super good.
With Moo was fantastic in that game. So
look at it this way: who does the Beastmaster roar in these situations? Right? If he hits the Tiny, then you're just going to have the status resistance, so the Primal Roar is ineffective. You hit the Abaddon, he can actually pop his ultimate to remove it, so he's going to be okay too. And plus, it's just not a hero you want to go on. And then any of the other heroes, say you focus down a support, or maybe whatever this last pick is going to be from Team Secret, it could be a Photic Shield protected. So both your Amplified Damage, your Primal Roar, and the single target focus of the Lifestealer are all being countered by this one hero from the Abaddon. I think this is a fantastic pickup by Team Secret, as long as they can make the lanes work for them. That is going to be the difficult part.
I think for Newbee, I wonder about the sniper ban. I think something either like a TA would provide a lot of synergy and add even more vision and Roche control for them, and like the minus armor.
You wanted for Newbee?
Yeah, and it's like it's a harder hero to kind of burst down as well. I don't think Secret has the best tools for dealing with it. But then the sniper band comes in, and there's the OD. I was gonna say like that was an option for them as well.
Yeah, I think you might be like a little bit overly physical damage heavy if you end up going TA, but I do think it's an okay game for him. I was thinking like Death Prophet or SF.
So a couple of heroes in that Secret lineup have done very, very well here in the last couple of days. The Abaddon's been fantastic yesterday and abused very heavily today.
10 seconds remaining.
So very interesting. Secret, what's pick 5 for Newbee?
5 seconds remaining.
This is tough. They got to get a Morphling answer now. Because Lifestealer isn't great versus him, and they've pretty much only a Primal Roar, but that's until Lincoln's comes into play.
I feel like they've got too many questions to answer right now.
No,
they can't solve all of them with one pick.
Sometimes you don't necessarily need to focus on the enemy team. You just need to make sure your lineup works. Okay. They've got a very aggressive lineup. If they just end the game and make sure they don't push to super late where Morphling and Tiny are quite strong, they're good. Like, again, this lineup from Team Secret, it looks good on paper that, like, oh, this hero, like, this counters this, and et cetera, but you have to make the lineup work together. And that is the big downside of their lineup, is that you don't see an easy way to win lanes, you don't see natural synergy between this lineup, you don't see an easy progression of 1, 2, 3, right? But you definitely see that with Newbee, right? And that goes back to what Jack was talking about in the idea of Newbee just drafting a very, like, consistent style that is always going to work for them. This is, like, the bread and butter of Dota 2 right now. A minus armor physical damage strategy with a pushing hero.
Yep. Okay. Which way is it going quickly between the two of you?
Newbee.
Can't argue with that. Like Newbee as well. Well, and for other reasons outside the draft. But I don't remember what the... We'll come back to this after. You know what I'm about to say.
Yeah, I know where you're going with it. We will be returning after the match for breakdown, of course, with our panel members. Time now to hand over to our commentary team for the final match of the evening. Or is it? Let's find out as we find out the result of Game 1.
It may actually be the final game of the day. We did start. We started this.
And we finish it.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. If it's a 2-0. If it's a 2-0. But let's find out if it will be that. The panel is pretty heavily towards Newbee, but this is the new Morphling. It's with the Tiny. It's CTY. What's going to happen here with the game?
Well, apparently the first step for Secret to take is putting Ace mid and CTY safe lane, like the new...
This is actually going to happen now?
Yeah, it looks like it. He got pulled tangos, and honestly, Tiny against DP is a quite tough matchup for the Tiny.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it does.
This seems to make a lot more sense, at least. It's like, hey, CTY, if you want, if you want to go Boots and Midas, then go Boots and Midas. Do it in the safe lane and come and join us when you need to. The other lanes are very sustainable in the form of the Tiny and the Abaddon.
Yeah. I actually missed that game. I just heard like CTY got a lot of flack because of that. Like a 0-0-0 OD or something.
It was a greedy OD to say the least, and he has been called out by prominent members of the community for such a way of playing the mid lane.
Well, either way, CTY is a very capable player, so I'm sure he'll figure out what to do.
Yeah. And Puppy's got to work out how he actually functions with the team too. You can't just expect him to jump in and understand how Team Secret think and the rhythm that Team Secret play.
Right.
This is something they have to get used to. SCCC, okay. So isolating KP. He will still be able to pick up that bounty rune. Yapsaw as well as CT1 able to actually stop that.
Yeah. I'm surprised they were so scared actually at the bottom rune. There was only DP and a Beastmaster. I'm pretty sure they can actually get at least half HP on the Beastmaster there if they just commit for it.
Fada gonna go up and try and grab the creep wave. Now he's dangerous. He has leveled up the Photic Shield, getting body blocked up by Karka. Still has the Tango regeneration in him, but with the creep wave, Fada so much damage, has to run back up again. But Mugi able to reach him with one Talon, kills off the Abaddon.
Well, the only upside to that is he's gonna have a double creep wave soon, because the first creep wave ran into the tower, so he will probably get like level 2, level 2.5.
That is an upside, but you did just give first blood to Mugi.
Yeah, that is not optimal.
But
as we said, mid lane, SCC should have like a very big advantage. The lane is quite one-sided for the DP. I think like 7-3, maybe 6-4 with the new Tiny. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, they need a little bit of help to rotate into that mid lane. But you've got Puppey's Witch Doctor or potentially the Tusker to move out. But at the moment, they're just trying to keep KP out of the fight. You do have two heroes down here, both Faith as well as KP.
Yeah, so they can actually keep the Trident here because they also keep two heroes here. So as long as they make sure those two heroes actually get nothing at all, then it is fine. But as soon as the dual lane starts having an impact, then they need to start roaming around as well.
Yeah. Need to change the balance of the lane. So far, it's been pretty good in the mid lane. Like, that's a 9-2 versus 4-2 CS battle. There are still 3 more creeps for SCC to farm up, but it's going decently for the Tiny at the moment. Abaddon has been an absolutely terrible lane. Like, it's 3-0 for him against the A1, but it's more about the experience, the levels which you can get on Fada. Once he has those, then he can be a little bit more aggressive in the lane.
He just wants his level 6, so he can start pressuring the tower without really caring too much about what's going to happen. Bot lane, the Morph is pretty much just free farming.
You know how you like remember looking at these mid lanes and you think with heroes like DK, for example, like once you get Bottle, you're able to like breathe fire and you get that burst in the lane that gives you your advantage. I see Tiny pick up a tree, and I see the same level of power as like a Bottle breathe firing like dragon.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the tree does a lot. He basically gets like 3-4 free lasts with it, and he can harness the DP at the same time. So maybe this Tiny middle is actually not as bad anymore as it was before. Yeah. Because the old Tiny, the matchup was terrible against the DP, but the new Tiny seems to work now quite a bit better.
Yeah. Pick up a tree and off we go again. Bottom lane, trouble for KP. The Maledict is on him. He will pop from that even if they didn't put the last hit in. And the TP rotation cancelled. Realizing that would have not served any purpose whatsoever. Like even this, like SCC is able to force the wave in a little bit with this Crypt Swarm, and you think, oh man, that's going to screw with equilibrium. Ace mops up the creep wave pretty quickly with the tree attacks, and then you're back onto the high ground position in the mid.
Yeah, he's actually still leading in CS. And another big problem for Newbee is this Morphling is getting uncontested free farm and kills as well. He can snowball really, really heavily. And we've seen it happen today already with the LGD. LGD army went crazy on his Morphling.
Yeah. I kind of want to see the same thing again, just because like, I was sitting out there in the green room watching that, and poor Winter Wyvern from 100 to 0 him in the space of a fraction of a second. It was
just E-Blade and Adaptive Strike. He didn't even wave him. It was just Adaptive Strike and E-Blade. Yeah. And it recently got buffed too, so his damage output is through the roof.
I wonder if CTY has had any experience on this hero yet with the new changes.
I'm sure he did, because Morph was or used to be one of his best heroes, so I'm sure he played it quite a bit.
But as you said, like even like you were battling with the hotkeys at some points too.
Oh yeah,
so
yeah, the new hotkey.
You could be used to the old one, but now understanding that you have different hotkeys and don't agility morph yourself to death.
Yeah, that is the biggest issue I've encountered with the new hotkeys. Apparently, it was quite sad when it happened.
Fight your natural reflexes.
Yeah. Oh well, mid lane. He's actually winning in CS quite a bit. Toss back.
Avalanche. He was thinking about it, but not going to happen.
Yeah.
Yapsol's in the neighborhood, but they don't really have enough damage even with Yapsol here to do it, and they're going to have even less. Oh, Winter Wyvern's behind this one, and Blast starts over on Ace. Yapsol needs to create some space. The shards trying to keep Karka out of the fight, but it won't happen. Takes a couple of hits from the tower, but that is all that she wrote. So a 3-man rotation in, or 2-man rotation in to make a 3-man team in mid for Newbee. Finds the kill on the Tiny.
Yeah, Tiny getting shut down. Very important, because he was actually winning mid lane. So that kill is
Karka.
Important.
I don't know exactly where he wants to be. Able to get the stun off. Yapsol starts to snowball forward. Karka out of mana. And, well, do they shard the top ramp? They're waiting to see. He wants Karka to try and run out of here. And now, Puppey starts with the stun. Maledict off target, but it won't matter. Yapsol with the shards ensures the kill as though it was a Fate Bolt.
Yeah. And now the problem for bot lane is they can leave the Morphing completely alone, and Beastmaster can't contest him at all. He's just too much farm and too much damage on the hero now. So the two supports are free to do whatever. Just now, as I stated, they rotate in the two supports. They want to pressure the Morphling.
And there's the waveform out.
Yeah.
Like, Morphling was always one of those heroes that you described as, like, the hardest to kill because you got 3 escape mechanisms. Yeah. 1, the waveform, 2, the Adaptive Strike pushback, and then 3, the replicate. Fada. Oh, boy.
He just got
Yeah, he
blown up.
He just got wrecked.
But his solo lifesteal nonetheless.
Yeah, that last bit of infest damage is enough, but it's because he doesn't have that level that you're searching for on him.
Yeah, he needs level 6 to be secure top. He actually has soaring without boots. It's quite unusual on that hero. But I guess he was jungling more, so it makes quite a bit of sense.
Not make the best of a bad situation on the off lane.
Yeah. Mid lane still looking quite good for the Tiny.
Yabso finds Kaka as well as Faith. Yabso's going to be happy for him to take the brunt of this attack, because he's primarily blocking it from Ace.
Yeah, they don't want the Tiny to suffer anymore. You know, I say suffer, he's actually still doing quite well in mid lane.
Yep.
And Tiny's also feeling, but this lifesteal is getting massive.
They're rotating bottom. I think the ping just came in to warn CTY that more friends are coming his way. But he's hanging around a little bit too long. Now, waveform's down, has to start strength morphing up. 420 HP is not enough, so the stuns are there. And now you see the HP start to rise up to 1320 that Newbee were incapable of breaking through.
He's choosing to TP back to the shrine.
1 HP.
Right. 1 HP, yep. Getting back up. Oh, he shrined a bit too early, huh?
Yeah, yep, so it's only going to get the tail end of it. But both of them practically at full health and mana.
Yeah. Chet winning the go.
They're going to have another crack at him. The Dire Observer Ward is nicely around the back of that tier 1 tower, closer towards the camp. So whenever support rotates in from Team Secret to the bottom lane, Newbee are aware of it, and they can move elsewhere, and they have done so up towards the top lane. SCCC is going to bring in his ultimate, so they don't attack the mid, they don't try and go through the Tiny, they go through the weakest lane of Team Secret so far, and that's the top.
I really like it. Like, as soon as he has Exorcism up, he just goes top lane, secures the tower, because there's nothing Secret can do about it. Because Morphling still needs some time to get online, and I'm a bit worried for Newbee though, because their tempo controllers, both the Slaughter and the Beastmaster, are quite poor this game. So the blink deckers will be very, very late if they even choose to go for blinks on the Beastmaster.
CTY being really aggressive. Here comes SCCC. TP's forward, and oh, that's the end of the exorcism. So he didn't want to try and fight him.
Yeah. He almost died from one wave there, from full health to like 10%.
That's the problem when you've got so much agility morphed up. Moogie is having another crack at Fada. Fada doesn't have his level 6 just yet. Moogie obviously can just hold back once that borrowed time does trigger.
Yeah, the only way they can kill him is a level 6 Tusk this game, because they removed the toss on the magic immune target, so he can just rage TP out until the Tusk is level 6. But he's not even level 5 yet, so it's gonna take a while.
Yeah. All the Morphling does heavy amounts of damage.
He has like 110 agility. Not bad.
Fada trying to contest Moogie, who currently has free reign over that top lane as well as the jungle camps that come with it.
He's level 6 now on Abaddon, so he won't really be too afraid anymore of that lifestealer.
I think he won't be afraid of like of the pop damage which he like fell to before with the infest. But Moogie can just kite him. Like, he's got his space boost, he's got the movement speed. Just keep up with him.
You can definitely still kill him and body block him. There's lots of ways to be able to just outlast the ultimate and then kill him afterwards.
Yeah, especially now he's finished to the armlet.
I wonder what CTY is going for. You think he's going to go for the Lincolns? It's a really, really good Lincolns game.
Well, it was Lincoln's E-Blade was the build from early today, right?
Yeah, but he didn't go Treads, right? If I remember correctly. He went Brown Boots Lincolns?
That I don't remember. Goodbye, Hawk.
Yeah, he's also going into the Lincolns.
Ring of Health is Lincolns.
Yeah. Standard choice, especially against Beastmaster.
Maybe you're bringing in a lot of forces. Oh, that's a nice rune for Yapsol. Moogie sitting on top of the bounty rune.
Beast still at level 6, and the Winter is actually leeching his XP. I don't really like that too much, because they really need his Roar online.
It's like they're trying to get KP just that little bit more money, though.
What item is KP going for? Medallion? Yeah, he got a medallion on KP.
Yeah. Medallion into Necros makes the most sense.
Yeah. Or even Blink Dagger if they want to be a bit more aggressive.
Oh, in through the rear. SCCC burns up the Exorcism. Have they got enough damage? CTY, they come in close. The snowball is waiting, and there's your rolling ball to fall. And Yapsor so low, the Cryptstorm will kill him off. Now CTY, 1 second till that waveform comes off cooldown. He goes through SCCC, but Faith, he turns on the curse. And why oh why Puppy is like, I'm getting killed by my stand-in just because you're able to put down the curse. CTY will be able to survive. The trade-off is going to be the tier 1 tower in mid. Exorcism damage will not be able to be applied fully into the tier 1 tower on bot.
Yeah, but it was good. They forced a good fight for them. Mugi TP'd bottom, so they're still gonna get the tower most likely.
Looking for more fights. Puppey is down here. Shards try and create a little bit of extra space. Puppey waits for the snowball. Now the paralyzing cast bouncing between that one creep and then back into Mugi. But more support is here. It's Ace with the rotation, looking for the kill into SCCC. And with the tree toss and the creep toss, everyone's being tossed around at the moment like a salad. Your loser, SCCC. And now lifestealer as well as what they would like. Kaka, nice stun. Holding back Fada as well as Yapso. You can watch that one infested creep like a hawk.
And in the meantime, Morphling still pushing the top tower, already going down. And they didn't even manage to get the tier 1 tower at the bottom, so very, very good trade for
this lifesteal's got a lot of life. His creep is on the front lines. Now he'll break free. Yapso coming over. He is going to try and just lock him in with a shard. Paralyzing cask as well, but CCC is not on the same page, not looking to fight this at all.
Morphling got a lot of space during all of this. Now up to top net worth. Slada reached level 600 gold for Blink Dagger. It's going to be the tempo controller. Yep. Slada Lifestealer can pop pretty much anyone in this lineup, except Abaddon, of course. And Morphling. Yeah, Morphling can't really die either.
It's actually kind of nice. Like, they're still sticking to their plan, right? You think the Morphling's still on bottom lane, but it's the Tiny who sticks around. Yeah. He rotates in for the gank, and then they give space to the Abaddon in mid lane. So you're playing catch up on all of the cores of Secret while just saying to CTY, play this game almost like an anti-mage. Take the side lane, just go away from where we're engaging.
They're going to play mostly 4 Protect 1 with him from now on as...
just enjoying the game of chase between the Hawk of KP and the Courier of Team Secret.
I mean, the new Hawk is incredibly fast. It has the same move speed as the Courier, if I recall correctly.
Well, by the looks of it, it was like we almost had ourselves a proper race.
Who won in the end?
The Courier.
The Courier won, of course.
Oh, Beastmaster couldn't get to the tier 2 tower in time to actually get the damage in, so yeah, Courier won.
Uh-oh. There's 3-4 heroes. He needs to...
Yeah, there's no tier 1 tower, so you'll see Mugi doesn't want to waveform down Winter's Curse.
Why didn't he curse him?
That's a very good question. Maybe he thought KP was going to commit the Raw. Maybe he thought...
Well,
I don't know.
Whatever it was, there was a dead Morphling.
Should have been, but isn't. So it actually keeps Morphling on the #1 net worth position.
Yep.
Shards not going to catch at SCCC.
Abaddon getting back into the game as well. This Abaddon pick is going to be a very big problem later on for them. If they start grouping up, they can't raw or like burst anyone with a Slaughter. Once you jump in with the Slaughter, actually, or they're going on the Beastmaster.
Oh yeah, tossing him back. Morphling wants this kill if they can give it to him, but the shards fly forward from Yapsor again. Oh, no matter what hero this guy plays, he always gets the kills. Yeah, he always grabs something a little bit more. But TTY can now afford the Ultimate Orb. So stats are starting to rise for this Morphling. The Linkers is rapidly approaching in Faith. The waveform in Yapsor punches the kill out, but no! CTY is trapped in the trees! He couldn't get out! You talk about the Lifestealer combination with the Slaughter. Well, that was just served to them on a silver platter. Yapsor wants out. He's got 17 one-shot. There's no point using him. He's dead.
So he waveformed into the trees and got stuck there, right?
He did. That's exactly what happened.
All right.
And then Newbee reacted when they just crushed, popped out, broke the tree, easy attack.
Well, on the upside, Tiny is very rich, level 12 soon. He's going for Manta style first, which is pretty good against the entire lineup. Especially the Slaughter amplifier damage, you want to get rid of it ASAP. And as we spoke about it before, you don't really want to get BKB on a Tiny. It just doesn't make any sense.
Well, tier 1 tower is falling thanks to the deep observer ward that Newbee have inside the Radiant jungle. They're going to get a kill on Puppey, who's just hanging around the tree lines, but amplification, Splinter Blast, Puppey tries to actually, commits the death ward. Attempting some more damage into Kaka.
It's actually quite funny. The Beastmaster is only level 7, and he just reached it as well. He's like the lowest level on the Newbee lineup.
Yeah. More work with him right. And
Beastmaster having a rough game.
Pushing with Catapult through the in for He's trying to make sure yeah. Enabling this attack into Ace. KP's nearby. Karka with the crush. Fada, he has the Aphotic Shield, put it onto himself, so the snowball from Tusker has to be used to try and save him. The infested target into the back line. Lifestealer now pops out. The curse is there, but it's on Abaddon, and Abaddon just had his ult triggered, borrowed time, so CTY gave him all the life, but he doesn't have any left for himself, as SCCC came in through the back lines, mobbed up the rest of Team Secret. A triple kill for him. And Fada is the sole survivor from what was a horrendous engagement for Team Secret.
They can't really contest the team fight of Newbee at all. I'm really surprised they were like trying to take a full-on engagement there. I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking, because their lineup is really good at split pushing, not so much as team fighting.
It looked more like they were trying to force the tier 2 tower, and then like this engagement happens. They were bringing reinforcements, but Newbee just moved in so quickly that it turned into a 5-on-5 and not just a straight pop.
But if you force the tower like as hard as that, it's almost certainly going to be an engagement, which they're definitely not ready to fight at this moment.
Yeah, no Lincoln Sphere up, missing a lot of pieces, and SCCC's power is just, well, unmatched by any hero on Team Secret.
And Morph fell behind in farm quite a bit now with the 2 deaths. Still doesn't have his Lincolns up. It should have been like a minute 14 Lincolns. Instead, it's going to be like a minute 18, minute 19 Lincolns.
Karka, rolling boulder, snowball doesn't bring it up the hill. And no, that TP out won't work either. Avalanche trying to keep him away. A quick toss will kill off Karka. Boogie in the middle of multiple heroes. The Walrus punch is there. You said there was one counter to him when he was in the rage, and that's exactly it. They toss forward Fada. So Ace will find that kill, even though Face actually burned his Winter's Curse to cancel the Death Ward.
This is a really big deal, because those two are basically what enable the map pressure for Newbee. Both of them being dead means they will farm a lot on the secret side right now until they're both alive again.
Is that Medallion coming out in the courier at the moment? I realized too, like he bypassed. Okay, no, it's the Lincoln Sphere. Because Fada has already the Vlad, so I'm like, if he has enough money that he can complete up that medallion, they can start to think about Roshan when they have
the medallion very soon. He's 200 gold for the medallion, if he chooses to go for it. I think the Solar Crest is very helpful this game, so he should definitely get it.
Yeah.
Especially because he's like building team base already.
What would be the other options? Like, do you want to get things like 4 staffs to try and kite out the Life Stealer?
He's got an AC in Quick Buy right now, so I hope that's not what he's going for, because it's really expensive. Solar Crest first to make be like a Heaven's Hell up would be really good on him, I think. Just to make sure that his team survives.
Unless they play this for the real late game. If he is going to be that front liner, there's he needs a counter to the amplification which is coming out from Slaughter.
Yeah. So they just smoked up with Slaughter as well as the Winter Wyvern, trying to find a quick pickoff.
Yeah, this time they don't have the deep observer ward, so they're scanning and they don't hit a ping.
And they only find the...
Now they do.
They can't go into the Abaddon.
There's so many heroes behind it. Blink forward, they find Puppy. Snowball protection is there. But they're going towards Moogie. Rage going to wear off in a second. Actually going up towards Karka. They break through a long, long way with the Death Ward out. Going to be cancelled off. And again, SCCC, he's having this battle away from the rest of his team. And successfully, Ace can't do anything about it, working with KP. So it's a 1-for-1 trade-off. And now it's Witch Doctor who will fall as well. Make it a 2-for-1, make it a 3-for-1. Yapsaw being surrounded by Newbee.
In the meantime, Morphling hitting the tier 2 bottom, just starting now.
He's actually he's not going to go for the stray shotgun. He's going for Manta style after this.
Makes me think he's probably not going to go for a shotgun at all. He's just going to play the stats Morphling, like Manta into Skadi, something like that. Maybe even BKB.
And that shotgun was so good earlier today. Like, if you take out Wyvern, if you take out that Winter's Curse.
I mean, especially this game, also if you go shotgun, you can actually save your teammates.
Lincoln's triggered, silence as well. You can strength more all you want, but I don't think you're out this one, CTY. Newbee bring the numbers.
He has to be more careful when he split pushes like that. Because now the entire map pressure is gone again, and the space that his team made for him basically with dying there, it's all gone down the drain now.
Like if he took the tier 2 tower and died, then maybe we could say it was worth it.
But it's only half health, not even.
problematic to say the least for Team Secret, as the last 3 engagements have gone heavily the way of Newbee.
Yeah.
But hilariously enough, the gold advantage, it's still only barely in favor of Secret. Like, it's bouncing up and down, really nowhere above 1,000 since the 12-minute mark.
It's
Same
because
for
they're
experience.
farming a lot. Whereas Newbee is kind of just focused on killing them, not on farming as much.
Well, it'll help if they have the Aegis, the Immortal, then they can kill and then push as well. But SECC is going to have to burn that Exorcism to ensure
He actually has an
Roshan.
Octarine core already.
God.
That means his Exorcism, yeah, his Exorcism is going to be up in like 70 seconds after it ends.
That is not Ace. That is in fact STCC.
Octarine core.
Don't worry.
First item after Yules.
Ace is the tiny.
Yeah, Ace the tiny indeed.
He's got the Mana Cell up, so at least they can break free of the silence which comes from STCC at the beginning.
Yeah.
I think that's another reason too why they're looking for those Mantas.
Yeah, Manta as well as is very strong against the Corrosive Haze as well.
That way Fada does have to keep burning his Aphotic Shield to free him. CTY. This time, waveforming into a tree will save his life.
Yeah, he's playing on the edge. Split up and farm, well played.
And then YapzOr gets the push up on top, a little bit of space for farm. He's got a Blink Dagger, plus having his Snowball Shards is a good way to escape, or in this case, farm the wave and get a little bit more momentum that gets Newbee looking behind themselves. Because they want to be pushing. They have the Observer Ward aggressively in the Radiant jungle. They want to be adding pressure to that tier 2 tower on bottom, but right now their tier 3 tower is almost under siege.
No Exorcism just yet, so they probably will just hit the tower down with Lifestealer and then wait for Exorcism and try to kind of go high ground bottom. Because top lane there's no pressure. Morphling isn't top, and
yeah, Tuska's moving back in again to add a little bit more pressure, but that's it.
But it's the wrong hero to be there.
Yeah.
It's either Morphling or Tiny that has to be there. But actually, Newbee is not trying to force them back to the tower. Well, they're just going back anyways.
Yeah.
Like, but usually what you want to do is you want to go high ground and force the enemy team to go back before you TP back. But they just went back anyways.
It's like they feel comfortable with the pace of this game at the moment. Yeah. Like all their cores are reaching items they want to get to. You got the plate mail now over on Death Prophet, so Shiva's guys rapidly approaching. Armlet, Deso, and Echo Saber for Mugi. So heavy, fast, and like sustainable items all for him. Beastmaster has a level 1 Necro Book, so not the greatest thing in the world for KP, but Ace, Avalanche Toss, waveform forward. Oh boy! Okay. Pop goes the Weasel in the mid lane. Faith is still on the run. Ace is right behind him, doesn't have a tree to work with, but it won't matter when CTY. Yeah, you really don't need E-Blade, but
the Morphling had a DD actually, and that's where the weakness of Octarine Core lies. It gives a lot of health, but he has 0 armor. Well, he just got a plate mail.
He had a plate mail before it, like, and they still did that much damage.
He did have a plate mail?
Yeah, he had that. He definitely had that when the gank happened.
All right, then.
Yeah.
All right.
And that still is the amount of damage that comes your way, because a lot of it was magical pop.
Yeah, it was. The waveform as well as the Adaptive Strike and the tiny combo.
And they kept him stunned up, like there was no Spirit Siphons coming out in that. Yeah. It was a straight throw up into the air. Oh, how do I react? Boom, I'm already dead.
Winter was also quite slow to react though. He didn't call and brace him as well.
Look at it again. Yeah. So nice slow motion swing, avalanche, toss, and pop pop.
And the DD as well. Yeah. Because Morphling has a talent, whenever you wave someone, you auto-attack him. I think, is it called that? Yeah, waveform attacks target. So there was a DD hit on top of a waveform, which is like a 400 damage because he has like 200 agility right now.
Yeah, waveform attacks target, second talent, number 15. Oh, CTY, the Huntingman getting Karka. Got a special delivery.
Uh-oh, careful now.
Observer and Sentries are down. Same thing for Team Secret. They have their own odds, but they get the crush. Over on 2. Linkersphere will trigger. CTY needs to create a little bit more space. Paralyzing cast. Problematic for Newbee to continue to move. And the Maledict Death Ward. There's so much damage going into the Slanter, but Puppy realizes he has to back up. Adaptive Strike, creating so much space. And Newbee Smoke Gank is going to fell. Karka, well, he's looking to cancel TPs. Looks like he actually was able to do that up on top lane. There's YapzOr snowballing up Puppy again with the paralyzing cast, throwing out the practical ravage. But it's not enough to save YapzOr. But they stop the push on bottom lane, Team Secret. And they avoid the gank of Newbee.
They didn't really do much with that Exorcism. Of course, losing a task like that is not what you want to have, but
yeah,
better than losing more than that.
It's their timing too. Like they really want to be able to push this. I'm seeing the net worth continuously rising for Ace as well as CTY.
Yeah, they're becoming really problematic. Like late game, their cores beat the Newbee cores pretty handily.
Yep.
And Morphling has his own Manta style soon. Well, he already has it. He just needs to buy it.
The courier is going up to the shop at the moment. Yeah. So it'll do its delivery. And Ace also got like something like 800, 700 gold for the kill before.
Yeah. He actually going for AC. He needs another 2,000 for his AC.
Well, if he's going AC, what's part of them building? He's going Radiance. So it looks like, wow, okay, I haven't seen that being built up in this tournament just yet. But Perseverance
into Radiance?
What?
No, he's going Lotus Orb probably.
Yeah, but he's got Radiance in the quick fight, but it's just the Lotus Orb I haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, I also don't know why. But Lotus Orb is perfect against both the Beastmaster as well as the Slaughter. Even the DP, honestly, because you siphon yourself.
Yeah, I could see that.
Well, basically, whoever he siphons you.
Break him free of the stun. Faith, come on, curse me, bro.
Curses himself, and then the lifesteal kills him.
Well, Lifestealer Infest only finds copies, doesn't find anything real.
I would give Newbee like another 10 minutes. If they can't find critical damage in like 10 minutes, and the pace of the game continues like it is, it's going to be very hard for them to win against Secret here.
Is Ace with that picture trying to make it so all Danes look like Harry Potter? Like, we already had that with Cinderin.
I really don't know about pictures, so I'll leave that to you and the viewers.
Oh, come on, man. You've taken your fair share of player profile pictures.
Oh, yeah, but...
You punched that camera.
I did, and I had to pay for it.
It's just gone. Well, yeah. Why do I compete as a Dota 2 pro player? Well, it's to afford the cameras I break.
I'm sorry. But yeah, the next Roche is respawning in 1.5 minutes. That's what Newbee's waiting for. They're gonna commit Exorcism. Just get a quick Roche.
Well, they want the kill first, create some more space around the map. So Kaka, again with his present.
He has been infested for an awfully long time. Lifesteal is kind of falling behind the farm.
Hey, that's good. It means you get 2 infests, right? Well, almost.
Yeah. Well, he needs level 18 for that.
Well, they're all coming up mid now, Team Secret, using Fada as bait, not the hero that Newbee really want to commit onto.
So Morph just reached level 20 and he chose Morph targets allies. I wonder who he wants to replicate into.
Interesting.
Wait, he just did? Oh, he got tree grab right now.
He got tree grab. Oh, the crush! Kaka with 3, but the damage from the Morphling is ridiculously high. Fada's only will trigger as well. He caught the brunt, the initial attack from Team Newbee, repaired it all with his ultimate. Now the curse is out. It's on Tiny, but he breaks free in an instant. Morphling, CTY, he actually gets himself waveform down, then jumps out to his Puppy. Puppy, space created by the Absol, but not enough. SCCC's Crypt Swarm can reach over the blocks of ice. But what, like, so many abilities committed from both sides, and only a Slaughter, who got a 3-man crush off at the beginning, dies for Newbee, and the Witch Doctor on the other side, the tail end of the fight.
Yeah, they all got away with really low health, and the Abaddon really helped massively there. Like, nobody died, and he removed a lot of stuns and healed a lot. But actually a very funny interaction here. The Morphling took the talent Morph targets allies.
Yeah.
Then he took the Tiny, and he took a tree. And how it works is he deals 40% bonus damage with his auto attacks. His attack range didn't increase, but his auto attacks deal 40% more damage.
Okay.
Which is pretty funny.
So when you waveform in, you're actually doing that bonus damage in the waveform.
You saw Slaughter, right? He got like 3 hit by him.
Yeah.
Because he did 40% damage per hit.
We're going to see it again quickly. So this is the crush initiation. Then 1, 2, 3. Oh boy. Yeah, you're seeing it tick down. Yeah. So much damage. And he'll have the E-Blade in the next fight as well.
Oh, he is going back for the E-Blade after the Manta and Link.
He's actually doing it still.
I like it because you can pretty much burst down any hero right now on the dire side.
It makes it also very difficult for Lifestealer to hit his target. Like if he gets hit by that, or defensive even.
Okay, with the Roshan now, Aegis and Cheese on Secret side is incredibly hard to kill anyone. AC now also finished up on Tiny.
Yeah.
They have Aegis, Cheese, they have Abaddon, they have AC. I think it's time for them to dictate this game.
I agree. Newbee are looking like they want to try and fight. They use the Splinter Blast to trigger off the Lincoln Speed to start with. As Abaddon to the front lines. Fada has his wand in his backpack at the moment. Not quite certain if that was the intention. His wand's just sitting in his backpack. No cheese, but oh, Kaka, where was your life, Sonny Jim? Ripped apart so quickly. Fada wants to find more. Moogie is on the run. They're gonna find Faith. He already burnt the curse. The concept must have been throw curse in back line, attack front line, while back line is being locked down, but
he actually burnt the curse on the Witch Doctor, and the only target attacking the Witch Doctor was the Tusk.
Okay. Okay.
But there's actually no way Newbee can fight him anymore at this point. There's Aegis, Cheese, and Abaddon.
He fortified, but
yeah,
it feels a little too late.
It dies quickly, huh?
It really, really does. And now, well, CTY will come back in again. Just attack it a couple of times. Ace. Welcome to tennis sound effects. That's what they should have as the next unlockable cosmetic for Tiny. Yeah. It's just a tennis racket. Well, welcome to the Federer set.
That would be so good. I hope. Oh, he did it again with the tree grab. You saw that morphling?
Yeah.
I wonder whether it's worth it to just do it and like blow the 35 seconds on that.
Oh, they finally worked out the gem of tree type's been sitting in the middle of that field forever.
Well, morphling picked it up.
Yeah, that he did. There's no one who's really gonna hide invis from him, so it's more just wards than anything else. And Dire only have really one like they got the ward in mid lane, which actually when he picks that up, how did he not see the observer ward?
I don't know.
He picked up the gem
right next to him. Yeah,
right next to him. So
the ward has been there for 2 minutes, so he definitely saw that one.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he didn't see it, but he should have seen it.
Yeah. And the only other one is between the tier 2 towers in top and mid lane. There's the 2 was down for Newbee.
Have you seen that morphing animation when he TPs? He's waddling around with his arms. I didn't know that.
What, really?
Yeah, that was super cute.
Cute or weird?
Cute.
Is it like the dinosaurs out of, what was that horrendous show in the 1990s? I think it's just like Dinosaurs Inc. with the family of dinosaurs from like
Jim Henson. Like kid show?
Yeah, the kid show thing.
I hated that one.
Yeah, I think actually it was just called Dinosaurs, I think. And like whenever like, with their arms, they try and eat food at the table, it's like, what the hell is this? Anyway, back to reality. I mean, Dota. Newbee on the hunt, wrapping all the way around. Observer and Sentry Wards are there. They're going to find themselves at Roshan, but they are all the way around the back to the Observer Ward. The Observer Ward saw the tail end of them. Now, Team Secret can react, but they only saw the very end of Newbee moving up to the high ground, so they just go in. Ace is beating away at that melee Rax. They do not have fortification. They burnt it before to try and protect themselves from the burst damage. Now Kaka jumps in, but Ace Manson dodges it. The Ross in the back line, so Yapstel's taken down this fight, but the damage is still there. They'll get the exorcism up. SCCC, he needs to be able to lift the Spirit of Silence, so we'll give him that for the moment. E-Blade Pop is still available. Where is this regeneration going to come from? Waveform out. It's too much for the Beastmaster to handle, but the Crux is nice from Kaka. Maybe with the damage. Oh, Newbee, they can't stand their ground. SCCC, he has Kaka to help create a little bit of space for him to regenerate. The Octarine Call was giving him just a little bit more, but Team Secret, too strong, too good, too furious.
Yeah, we spoke about how Newbee's on the clock this match, because late game they can't compete with the Tiny and Morphling at all, because essentially they're both two very hard carries backed up by an Abaddon.
Oh, man, that clock has run out.
Yep, and it's over.
Yeah, Team Secret, they're basically pirates. They're hooked. They smashed all the clocks.
Tiebreaker secured. If they could get another win, then they're in for sure.
Maybe tiebreaker is secured if we can get a 1-1.
Yeah, I mean tiebreaker secured at least for Secret, so they won't just fall flat on their faces.
Yeah, and it was a lot better approach by the looks of it too. Like CTY,
just let him farm by himself. Because it's pretty much what he did, right?
I love how this comes from your mouth.